Since the Taliban have taken over Afghanistan, India has made its stance very clear. Afghan soil should not be used for terror operations. There have been multiple conflicting reports about Taliban's stance on Kashmir. So WION decided to ask the Taliban leaders themselves what their stand was. Our correspondent Anas Mallick asked the Taliban what their Kashmir policy is in relation to both India and Pakistan. Listen in to what the Foreign Minister Ameer Muttaqi had to say.
Anas Mallick from WION. What is Taliban's Kashmir policy? Because it would decide the course of action with India and Pakistan both. Thank you.
Kashmir and everywhere else where there is tyranny, our policy is that we should stand with them. However, if there is a conflict between the two countries, like how it's said in the world to solve issues through talks, we would also emphasize solving it through talks. However, we stand with those who are oppressed.
So that is what the Taliban had to say. If there is a conflict, it should be solved using talks. And secondly, that they stand for the oppressed everywhere in the world. This is a stand that was echoed by the Taliban Prime Minister, the acting Prime Minister Hassan Akhund. Earlier, he had commented on the security of Muslims, saying, and I'm quoting, "The new government will bring security to Afghans and Muslims around the world, and it will end all unrest, killing and humiliation in Afghanistan." Earlier, there were reports that the Taliban would interfere in Kashmir. In May 2020, their spokesperson had denied all of these claims. The Taliban said Kashmir was India's internal affair. This is what he said. Quote, "The statement that has been published about India is not relevant to the Islamic Emirate. The policy of the Islamic Emirate is clear that it does not interfere in the internal affairs of other countries." Unquote. But cut to September 2021, it was a complete change in tone. The same Taliban spokesperson said, and I'm quoting, "As Muslims, we also have a right to raise our voice for Muslims in Kashmir, India, or any other country." This is similar to the answer that the Taliban foreign spokesperson gave to us. They say that they stand for the oppressed everywhere, and they believe if there is a conflict, it should be resolved by talks. And our correspondent, Anas Mallick, who posed that question to the Taliban leader, is now on the broadcast. Anas, if you can detail to us the response that was given by the Taliban leader to you.
Well, yes, today there was the first ever press conference held by the Taliban's Foreign Minister Ameer Muttaqi, who happens to be on the UN listed individuals as well. And I asked him very precisely about the fact that what will be Taliban's Kashmir policy, because that would decide the course of action between India and Pakistan going forward with the relations between Taliban and other countries. He said that, and I quote, that they are with the people of Kashmir, they are with Kashmir, and everywhere else where there is quote-unquote tyranny. This is what he has said. Then he goes on to further say that since the international rule is that if there is a conflict between two countries, that should be solved through talks. Therefore, we support talks on the matter. However, we stand with the oppressed. This is what he has said in his press conference. What I was quoting, but it looks like it is a balancing act, prima facie, on the looks of it, because on one hand, while they are talking about standing with Kashmir, clearly looks like they don't want to irk the international community, given that both India and Pakistan are major stakeholders in Afghanistan, and India has a lot of investments that the Taliban would want to benefit from. Therefore, this balancing act is being done by the Taliban's foreign minister. Molly?
Indeed, Anas, we also just outlined for our viewers the stance that has been taken earlier on by the Taliban when it comes to the issue, apart from the statement that was given out by the leader during that press briefing, a lot of other statements that also stood out. And your question that was regarding the Kashmir policy when it comes to the Taliban, also the answer that was given by the Taliban leader has a lot of question marks that have been raised over it.
Well, yes, there have been a lot of question marks that have been raised on different matters, but the highlights of this press conference today was they said that they wanted to work with the international community. They welcomed the recent UN aid announcement at the Geneva conference. They said that they would be speaking on the matter of delisting or blacklisting and that it has no ground. This is what Ameer Khan Muttaqi said. He also said that with regards to elections or this interim government, how long will this be for? It is too early to say because they're still in the process. He's ruled out any conflict within. He said that these are quote-unquote baseless stories. This is what he has said. He has maintained lots of takeaways from that press conference, but clearly one of the highlighted ones being that of Kashmir. Secondly, having worked with the international community or looking forward to working with the international community with regards to this aid that has been announced, and additionally with regards to this blacklisting that has been done. His emphasis was that they want good relations with all the countries, with all the neighboring countries, including those which are quote-unquote their adversaries. Molly?
Right, Anas Mallick with us, getting us a better sense of the key takeaways from that press conference that was held just a short while back. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.